Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Thursday, the 6th of February 2025, the year BSV comes alive. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin right. Let's see what we got today. We got a red pill bot posting some posts about fat cat bankers, as we know. Jesse Waters making a comment on how the Democrats were literally wasting people's money. Elon Musk weighing in on it. Lamint looks like they're coming along. This is great. Some posts here from Sudden and Unexpected about the World Economic Forum, geofencing, cars and all that, and then an article from Aerospike that we'll go through. Elon Musk is proposing putting US Treasuries on blockchain, and CoinGeek has done an article about that. Brian Doherty said, could someone be storming into the crypto temple, flipping the tables of Tether like Jesus did to the money changers? We'll see at 2:30 p.m, so we'll find out what that is. I've just trying to explain a bit of Economics 101 for some newbies. El Salvador's failed Bitcoin experiment, because we know it's great coin. And we've got some 365 days of Bitcoin history before we get into the figures as per usual, because I love that kind of stuff. I need to explain it to the newbies. Right, let's get into it.
Greg says he's Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terra node, you'll surely see.
All right, here we go. So Red Pill posted this saying, money doesn't grow on trees. Privately owned central banks create money out of nothing and loan it out at interest. All modern money is literally debt owed to them. The economy is a casino. Central banks control the game and the house always wins. Yeah, that's it. But the problem is you're calling it money. When it's not money, it's currency. And the reason the banks continue to call it money and want you to call it money is because they don't want you to understand the fraud that they're perpetrating on us. Literally, we know what they're doing, but people call it money. Oh, well, how can I create something that's money? Oh, well, you can't, because it's only the bank that has the money. No, it's securities. Call it currency, because the currency is securities fraud. That is what they don't want people to know. They don't want people to know the difference between money and currency. And we've obviously got a picture of this fat cat banker here. But then we've got this picture here of the head of the Bank of International Settlements. So we've got Klaus Schwab, who literally looks like a Bond villain, but in real life, heading the World Economic Forum. And now we've got a genuine fat cat banker heading the Bank of International Settlements. I mean, they literally must be pissing themselves at us. And what a joke. Right, let's go on to this. Jesse Waters has said here, 43 million on a gas station in Afghanistan that had no customers. 1.5 million to promote LGBT Jamaicans, 4 million for trans Serbians, 5.5 million for gay rights in Uganda, 17 million for Vietnam inclusion, 25 million to promote green transportation in Georgia, 1 million for Arab and Jewish photographers, 8 million to teach Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary gendered language, and 122 million ended up in the hands of a terrorist. That's where the US aid has been spending your money. Democrats have been spending your tax dollars, sending your tax dollars to all kinds of crazy places like George Soros's prosecutor fund, and even worse, the media. Politico received $26 million over the last 4 years from the federal government. The White House says it's all getting dodged, as in our Department of Government Efficiency. But let's have a listen to what these criminals are saying.
We've got to take to the street.
It's only been 3 weeks and Democrats want to impeach. Today, Democrat Al Green, not the soul singer, announced he's introducing articles of impeachment against Donald J. Trump because he said he wants to turn the Gaza Strip into Gaza-Lago. Democrats were already losing their minds after Musk froze their foreign aid slush fund.
We will not shut up. We will stand up. We will speak up. We will rise up. What's dangerous is that people who work for USAID are wearing masks to protect themselves from Musk. This is...
Oh my God, honestly, how anybody can take the Democrats seriously, like literally having Joe Biden lead them, clearly taking instructions through earpieces, just like Kamala Harris Yeah, when the earpiece went muted for a little bit, she just didn't know what to say. Honestly, the criminality in that party is just absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. Elon Musk has reposted here from the real Donald J. Trump. He said, looks like billions of dollars have been stolen at USAID and other agencies, much of it going to the fake news media as a payoff for creating good stories about the Democrats. The left-wing rag, known as Politico, seems to have received $8 million. Did the New York Times receive money? Who else did? This could be the biggest scandal of them all, perhaps the biggest in history. The Democrats can't hide from this one. Too big, too dirty. I mean, there's a lot of cleaning up to do in there. Like, my goodness. But anyway, talking about cleaning up, this one looks good. Lamint has just posted here saying, it's coming. I mean, if they can do what I've heard that they can do, that is literally going to be an absolute game changer. Literally, it is phenomenal. We are talking about instant payments to content creators, like using crypto on BSV. Literally lightning fast transactions so they can get paid straight out. And if they want to convert back into fiat currency, you know, they always can do. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. That would be a real game changer for content creators. Check this one out. So sudden and unexpected said the EV owners were warned, and here we are. The World Economic Forum puppets are openly gloating about the plan to shut down your car at will. Economic Forum plans to use smart devices on air conditioning, TVs, electric vehicles, so the state can take aggressive action and shut them down when the grid is overloaded, or you are not a good little citizen. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yes. The state took a very aggressive action to send out an emergency text message to all of the California cell phones, and instantaneously 2,500 megawatts came off the system. We watched the load curve drop with a straight line, which told me and reaffirmed a hypothesis that I have, that demand management.
Unbelievable. Look, and they're not telling you that energy is free. Free energy from the ether, and also like magnetic dynamos and all sorts. Just like Stanley Myers and his water-powered car. Literally no emissions whatsoever. You know, it's just literally all about elements of control. It's just unbelievable. And literally, I've just basically got to the bottom of this whole conspiracy, and my mind was blown literally just this morning. I've been researching this for months and months and months, and the missing pieces of the jigsaw were all coming together. It was just like, whoa, this is incredible. Right, let's read this update from Aerospike saying Aerospike 8 delivers first real-time distributed ACID transaction database with high performance at scale. All right, then let's have a look at this. Mountain View, California, February 5th. Aerospike today unveiled Database 8, a major upgrade of its flagship multi-model distributed database. Version 8 adds distributed ACID transactions to support large-scale online transaction processing applications, building on its enterprise-grade operations and best-in-class efficiency. Aerospike 8 is the first real-time distributed database to guarantee strict serialized of ACID transactions with industry-leading performance and efficiency at the fraction of the cost of other systems. For industries and applications like banking, e-commerce, inventory management, healthcare, order processing and telecom, or any digital business requiring mission-critical transactional workloads, reliable, consistent and scalable distributed OLTP systems are non-negotiable, yet legacy databases struggle to deliver. For nearly a decade, Aerospike has set the standard in strong consistency for single record requests, achieving millions of transactions per second with sub-millisecond latency. Whether a gigabyte or petabyte of data, Aerospike Database 8 expands data consistencies guarantees with strict serializability, the highest level guarantee, to distributed multi-object transaction with low latency, even while serving mass concurrent connections. Now businesses can achieve the most stringent level of guarantees, eliminating inconsistencies that can lead to costly errors while benefiting from real-time performance. Since Aerospike requires a fraction of the hardware resources of other databases, enterprises benefit from both substantial operational cost savings and the opportunity to embrace new environmental sustainability goals. Aerospike has always been a transaction powerhouse, with customers scaling to hundreds of millions TPS on massive amounts of data, said Subbu Alaya, CEO of Aerospike. With 8.0, Aerospike has solved one of the most challenging problems in distributed systems so that enterprise can break free from the decades-old trade-off between transactional consistency and high performance and scale mission-critical applications without compromise. Skyflow is excited to be partnered with Aerospike on this new capability as the largest enterprise companies adopt privacy and security for the modern AI data stack, said Ashuna Sharma, co-founder and CEO of Skyflow. Building powerful scalable OLTP applications has never been easier. Aerospike's distributed transaction support simplifies OLTP development by moving the burden of building and maintaining transaction management logic for the application to the database. Developers get Aerospike's intuitive transactions APIs to speed and simplify development. Springing developers can immediately write to the same Spring data transaction APIs they used to. And Java developers can code to the standard Spring Framework transaction management APIs without any knowledge of Aerospike internal processes. The Aerospike multimodal database advantage. Aerospike's multimodal database engine supporting documents, key value graphs, and vector data types also significantly reduces development and operational complexity. Developers can choose the best data model for each specific use case, reducing overhead and enhancing agility. The Aerospike multimodal database can be deployed on premises and on all major public clouds, giving developers and operators the flexibility needed to deploy real-time applications wherever and however they like, including in hybrid environments. Try Aerospike Database 8 for a full technical overview and list of new and notable features. Please visit our technical blog and register to attend our webinar on understanding high throughput transactions at scale. Awesome, loving that. That sounds epic, actually. Right, let's get on to this one. So now Elon Musk proposes putting US Treasuries on blockchain for full spending transparency. Citizens could track taxpayer dollars in real time. Could they really? Let's see what CoinGeek has got to say about this. So obviously we know what blockchain he should be using, but the thing is though, if they're looking to putting things on chain, they will find genuine Bitcoin. Because there is no other chain that can deal with all this. None of them can scale. They're absolute pieces of garbage. I bet the cabal probably never thought that the blockchain industry would ever get this large and that they would have to do things that they've done by turning it into a $3.6 trillion Ponzi scheme, which they're going to be on the hook for because people are literally going to lose billions. Where is the finger of blame going to lie? Whose shoulders is it going to land on? Because if it lands on them, people are going to be after him. I'm telling you. Rumour has it that the world's richest man is considering using blockchain technology to promote government efficiency and accountability. According to a report by Bloomberg, Elon Musk, heading up the Department of Government Efficiency, is weighing up how to use blockchain to find cost savings, manage and secure data, and create transparency around government spending. Well, the only blockchain that can do that is BSV, and we know it. While it isn't known what blockchains Musk and his team are considering, they have met with representatives of various public blockchains to evaluate their technology. Oh my god. Elon, if you want to chat with me, just let me know. It's also known that an unnamed individual traveled to Florida in November to brief officials from the Trump transition team on how blockchain could be used. It's also known that an unnamed individual travelled to Florida in November to brief officials of Trump's transition team. Doesn't say where it came from, does it? The idea is sound, even if it comes to nothing. It should be noted that Doge, that's the Department of Government Efficiency, may not use blockchain technology at all. However, the fact that Musk and his team know how it can be used for payments, transparency, and data management is encouraging. Just wait until they see the transaction volume on Terranode. Whoa. For far too long, the utility of blockchain technology has been overlooked, and the focus has been on the price of the coins and the tokens attached to popular ledgers. Hundreds of millions of people worldwide have made and lost fortunes gambling on the price movements of blockchain-linked tokens and digital currencies. Because yeah, it's just massive Ponzi schemes, really. Yet, finally, we are seeing signs that officials at the highest levels of the US government are aware of blockchain's powers. If they use it only to track and trace government spending, that will be a massive victory for technology and the wider industry. The most efficient blockchain is the original one. People in the blockchain and digital currency industry acknowledge Satoshi Nakamoto was a once-in-a-century genius. Some have even nominated him for the Nobel Prize in Economics. Yet many still believe they can create a better system than Bitcoin's inventor. Yeah, they can't, unfortunately, because data can only be commoditized one way, and he got there first. Assuming incorrectly that the broken blockchain called BTC is Satoshi's original design, endless entrepreneurs, developers, and thinkers have devised alternative systems, hence the tens of thousands of blockchains and millions of tokens we see today. Yeah, distracting people away from the genuine Bitcoin. However, BTC is a far cry from Satoshi's original design. It's nothing like it, because it's got no value whatsoever. A decision to permanently cap the block size at 1 megabyte and multiple major protocol changes such as SegWit and Taproot have divorced BTC from anything resembling the original Bitcoin. The closest thing to it today is the BSV blockchain, which was restored to test Satoshi's design and ideas. In recent testing of its Terranode upgrade, the BSV blockchain can process 1 million transactions per second. With the original opcodes restored and easy to use smart contracting languages like Scrypt, making life easy for developers, the original blockchain is capable of many different transaction types, including payments, data transfers, and more. This isn't all just theory. Either. Cutting-edge apps like Sentinel Node show how scalable public blockchains can bolster any organization's cybersecurity, including the US government. Apps like Trace show how supply chain inefficiencies could be stamped out. BSV can even improve election integrity. That's what we need if we get elections. If Musk is serious about using blockchain tech to drive government efficiency, BSV is the best bet by far. The facts speaks for themselves. It scales on chain. The fees are minuscule at 0.000001 on average. The applications mentioned above prove it can be used for all the things Doge is striving for and then some. The original Bitcoin protocol is the ultimate tool for efficiency. Now that it's ready for prime time, Musk and his team should at least test it out. Yes, indeed, they should. They're going to find it. They can't not, because it's literally the only one that can do the job. Literally. Right, Brian Doherty posted here cryptically saying, could someone be storming into the crypto temple, flipping the tables of Tether like Jesus did to the money changers? We'll see at 2:30 p.m. What's 2:30 p.m.? So Brian Doherty has posted here. Sachs, Scott, Boozman, Hill, Thompson to host press conference on digital assets. Washington, D.C. President Trump's White House, AI and crypto czar David Sachs, Senate Banking Committee Chair Tim Scott, Senate Agricultural Committee Chairman John Boozman, House Financial Services Committee Chairman French Hill, and House Agricultural Committee Chairman G.T. Thompson will host a press conference tomorrow, Tuesday, February 4th at 2 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, to discuss how the Trump administration and Congress will work together to secure America as a leader in the digital asset ecosystem. What? Press conference on digital assets. Who? SAR, David Sachs, Chairman Tim Scott, John Boozman, French Hill, Chairman Thompson. All right. I wonder how that went. That would be good to know. Some of you are sitting at the tables I sent you to flip. Loving that, by Casey Nicole. What time is it now? That's funny. So she would be brown. Oh, all right. Well, I hope that went well, if that's where he went. Right, let's just get into this then. So, because people still seem to be really confused about crypto. I've had, BSV supporters reach out to me telling me that XRP, is a commodity, and that Hex and Pulse Chain are commodities and all this kind of stuff. I was just like, oh my God, Seriously. Like, and I think it's because of this number 5 here that they're not familiar with, because there are only 4 things that circulate within an economy. However, when they're just like, oh well, this thing doesn't actually match any of those because it's not a security and it's definitely not a commodity. Yeah, it must be something else. Well, what it is actually securities fraud. That's all there is, because you have goods that are manufactured, you have services that are provided, you have commodities that are extracted or grown, and securities that are issued secured entitlement. And the other thing is issued entitlement that actually doesn't entitle you to anything of value. That is what securities fraud is. That's what fiat currency is. That is what crypto is. And just like the African proverb said, a truth has many versions. A lie has many versions. The truth none. It's the same with commoditizing data. There are many versions of security fraud, but there's only one version of a commoditized data network, and that's the protocol that I came up with, well, that I demonstrated the other day. So we'll just find that for the purposes of today's show. Should we come? There we go. That's the protocol. This is the protocol, and this is how Bitcoin was designed, with an economically competitive server network, globally distributed, chain of digital signatures, unbounded scale, fixed asset supply, and having those 4 elements locked. That is literally the only way you can commoditize data. And then obviously it has to go through the commoditization process, which is a common starting point, and then neutral organic growth without any central point of influence. And that's what can't be replicated, because it's completely organic. There's no central point of influence there at all. Right, there we go. So we're up to date on those. Let's have a quick look at this one then from Cointelegraph, saying the lessons of El Salvador's failed Grapecoin experiment. The revolution is dead in El Salvador. It's a lesson for developing nations who aim to seek out economic autonomy by making crypto legal tender. And now they're trying to make excuses for themselves for effing it up. The International Monetary Fund wants to keep you down. Just look at El Salvador for proof, where President Nayib Bukele abandoned his Bitcoin ledger tender revolution in favor of international development loans. Oh dear, again, more debt from the International Monetary Fund, bribes being paid. The new status quo has been made clear. While nation states can stack and hold Bitcoin, the people cannot use it as legal tender. Instead, they must remain chained to their fiat currency. The International Monetary Fund, a financial arm of the United Nations, has long played a significant role in the economic colonization of emerging countries on behalf of a cabal of corporations, banks, and US governments. The International Monetary Fund's modus operandi has been to give developing countries development loans, again fiat currency fraud, for construction and engineering projects. To receive these loans, countries often agree to balance their deficits, squeeze public spending, open the markets, and privatize sectors of the economy, and, in the case of El Salvador, kill the Bitcoin revolution and squash the opposition. Bitcoiners, this is known as conditionally. Well, yeah, until they find the genuine Bitcoin, because everyone's using the fake shitcoin at the moment. The IMF says no to a Grapecoin for you. El Salvador became the world's first country to make a Grapecoin legal tender in 2021. Yeah, because it wasn't Bitcoin. President Bukele gave a lip service to the idea that he introduced Bitcoin as legal tender to free the Salvadorian people from the chains of central banking. He has said, however, that the adoption of Bitcoin as tender by the El Salvadorian Main Street has been slow. Bukele noted that it was the most unpopular measure his government had ever undertaken, according to a survey conducted by San Salvador University. Francisco Gavidia, approximately 92% of El Salvadorians did not use Bitcoin in 2023. It was because they can't. It's Grapecoin. It's an absolute piece of shit. It appears the revolution is dead. El Salvador has been forced to scale back its Bitcoin agenda to attract development funds from the IMF and take a quick step back on its pro-Bitcoin legal framework. To receive a $1.4 billion credit line, Bukele chose to do what the IMF required, revoke his plans for a Bitcoin as a national currency. The IMF called it mitigating Bitcoin-related risks. I'm sure they would do that. The development agency forced El Salvador's government to reduce its Bitcoin purchases and no longer accept tax payments in Bitcoin. Bukele dropped the law requiring businesses to accept Bitcoin. Meanwhile, the IMF said the public sector's Bitcoin-related activities will be restricted. Yeah, because, I mean, imagine the shit that El Salvador would be in when they rug pull, which is the only thing they're going to do, because that's literally all they can do. What's this? Bukele's deal with the devil. It's nothing new for the IMF to keep the tools of financial liberation out of the hands of people. Its dominion over under-resourced countries is a through line of the post-World War II world. In 2024, the IMF colonial practices were met with mass protests in Kenya, which shed light on the predatory nature of the IMF. Yeah, because it's trying to install a one-world government. The protests called on President William Ruto to strike down an IMF-led bill for austerity and regressive taxes in nations. Again, just making the country and the people poorer. It was slowing economic growth. It's outrageous what they're doing. Absolutely outrageous. Right, let's get on to a little bit of 365 days of Bitcoin history, because that's 25 minutes gone already. On the 6th of February 2010, Satoshi Nakamoto said if you spend by IP, the recipient sees you because you connect to their IP, you could use Tor to mask that. Yeah, potentially, but again, you still can't hide Bitcoin transactions. But it's meant to be private anyway. The two people involved in the trade are the only people that know each other, and that's the way it should be. 6th of February 2010, another quote here from Satoshi Nakamoto. He said, eventually at most only 21 million coins for 6.8 billion people in the world if it really gets huge. But don't worry, there are another 6 decimal places that aren't shown for a total of 8 decimal places internally. It shows 1.00, but internally it's 1.000000000. If there's massive deflation in the future, the software could show more decimal places. If it gets tiresome working with small numbers, we could change where the display shows the decimal point. Same amount of money, just different conventions for where the commas and dots go. E.g. moving the decimal place 3 places would mean if you had 1.0000 before, now it shows as 1000.00. Interesting. Look at that. As Craig said to me, the decimal places in Bitcoin can actually be extended to 16 or more decimal places. That's if it really takes off and starts absorbing literally all the world's financial markets market cap, which we hope it will do, because it should do. That's the potential it's got. On the 6th of February 2024 was day 2 of the COPA trial. A London judge away computer scientists claimed that he's the mysterious creator of Bitcoin. And then we've got a quote here, must have been in one of the articles. In 2021, he won a civil case in Florida, 1.1 million Bitcoin. Worth approximately $47.5 billion today, well that was last year, that could only be owned by a personal entity involved with the digital currency from its beginnings, such as the creator. That must have been in the LA Times. Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. Also, a year ago today, Craig Wright denies forging documents to support Bitcoin claim, and that actually made it into the Guardian. So the Guardian was actually reporting on this as well. Yeah, it was big. It was big. There we go. So that's 365 days of Bitcoin history. Let's have a quick look at the figures then. So we've got Greg Coin down at $96,000. Fisher Price Cash, what a joke. Or B Crash, what a joke. Fisher Price Cash, who cares? But then we've got Bitcoin at just $39. Yeah, at 38.98 in the top left of the screen there. Let's have a look at the difficulty adjustment. Yeah, still, I mean, it's just absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Hash rate, so yeah, it dropped off a cliff on BCH there. Came back a little bit, but going up on Bitcoin there. Wow, fantastic. Let's have a look at the transactions then. Yeah, I think there's transaction banking going on. Just 45,000 transactions. Cross-reference that we what's on chain. Yep, 45,000. Not many at all. Just representing 9.9% of the overall transactions on the Bitcoin forks. But we've got some larger blocks coming through. 12 megabytes, 18 megabytes, 2 megabytes, 18 megabytes. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot more megabytes in that column than there is on Gregcoin. And Gregcoin, they've got one block in the column of 30 over 2. Well done to them, good grief. It's currently 67,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Gregcoin. Mining Bitcoin at a 53.4% comparable loss. Let's have a look at the politics in the pie charts, because that's where it's at. Global hash rate 7 days, global hash rate 24 hours, Gregcoin hash rate other miners 2.08 on there. Via BTC getting a look in, meaning that Foundry USA Pool and Ampool no longer have 50% between them. Via BTC has got a little bit in there itself. B crash, who cares? But the other miners got 43% of the hash rate on there. Fisher Price Cash, yeah, not bothered about that. And Bitcoin, let's have a quick look at this on what's on chain. Is that just down to 5 miners? Tau with 39%, Cuve 28, QD Link 23, SA100 5.3, and Gorilla Pool are just 3%. So it looks like Mining Dutch has just decided to do one. Crypto Quant, look, the exchanges, the reserves, they're still getting rid of the reserves. They just literally don't want them. The reserves are what they used for their liquidity, for their customers wanting to cash out. If they're cashing out in shitcoins or something like that, they'll sell the reserves, buy the shitcoin, and exchange it for fiat currency is what they'll do. Tether Weather, what's going on here? Bit of green there. What's this? So now it's gone from 140.4 billion to 141.3, so they pumped another $1 billion just early this morning. Would you believe it? $1 billion, another $1 billion. Something's going on. Trying to keep their scam going. Short ratio is just 0.4%. Let's have a look at 24-hour trade volume. OKX 1.3 million. Binance Futures down to 3.1. Up bit, 100 million there. Indox 8. It fluctuates by about $10 million every day. It was like 75 million the other day. Now it's 83 million. That's a 24-hour trade volume. That's huge. Zedixian 6.5 million. That's an increase. Poloniex down to 6.2. That's usually around 10. HDX 4.1. Buybox 2.8. We got CoinX in there. That's a new one. Don't think I've seen that one before. 1.5 million. XT.com, not a million. Don't think any others are over a million. But still interesting to look at those figures. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus Gregcoin. Oof. Just plodding along today, but yeah, lost that competition over the last couple of days. Oof. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus USD. Yeah, trading along sideways and down. Let's have a look at Orange Gateway, just $38. $38.45. Whoa. Whoa, look at that. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus Gregcoin. Yeah, went down there. February on February 1st, 2nd. Oof. Never mind. Overall market cap is going down. That's $3.1 trillion. Gregcoin at 96,000. 24-hour trade volume just 2.3, representing $44 billion. Can you believe $44 billion Ponzi scheme? Whoa. Let's have a look at the rest of the coins. Ethereum at $2,700. XRP dropped below USDT. What's this doing then? Look, it can't be maintained. So it's shot up and then it's just coming down again. Which is what I'd expect to see, because it's worth absolutely nothing. Nothing. Right, let's have a look. Where's Bitcoin? Let's have a look. 84. Look at that, $38. That is crazy. $38.96 for a Bitcoin. Like, whoa. Whoa. That is low. Wonder what that is in GBP, just for giggles. 31 quid. 31 quid. God, I remember when I rode the price of this right the way up to 300 quid. Was it like 40? Yeah, 320 quid is what we got to. Oof, 320 quid. That was just 31. God, it's lost like 90%. 90% of its value from its all-time high. But I mean, buying that, I mean, jeepers. I mean, we really need to be looking at Gradecoin here, because we know what that is. When was Gradecoin last $30? Like, seriously. Seriously. Well, like, when was it $30? Look at this. Look at this. I mean, this is nuts. This is nuts. This is 2015. It was 150. Where are we talking about? Whoa. 2014. It was like $300. Or yeah, like well, they were in pounds here actually. Let's just turn this back into dollars. Where are we? So like $38. Oh my goodness me! Look at that! Look at that! Is it actually? Oh, it is. Oh my goodness me! Look at that! Live Coin Watch doesn't even have a price as low as $38 that it is right now. The lowest it goes was back in 2013. It goes right back to 2013 when it was $106. $106, and now we're looking at $38. $38. Legends were made that got in at $38. Whoa. 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 That is crazy when you realise what we're looking at. And the world has no idea about Terranode. Literally no idea about Terranode. My goodness. My goodness. Breakdown, yeah. So again, not the breakdown on Live Coin Watch isn't listing Indox. Liquidity. Oh, Hit BTC has got in front of Changely Pro. Okay, still looking good on liquidity there. Coin W. Right, interesting. Alright, that is a 37-minute show. Didn't mean it for it to go on to this long. So if you enjoy these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi at Senbi.com, Handcash.io, Simply.cash, Relaser.com, Rockwallet.me or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it as ever. Be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.